Asia really covers a huge region. It's largely broad term to specify one person into Asian.
No matter where I go, I'm always being identified as like Asian.
People will judge you by the color of your skin, so they may identify me as Asian. But personally, I do not want people to see us as just this big group. I hope people can see me as Japanese.
The world that we used to live before the COVID, where the existence of Asian people, I would say, were not that clearly strong.
Due to the hate crime happening in America, they could feel a lot more scared traveling outside of Japan, which could lead to like a lot more people just staying inside.
We should continue to develop the Asian network to deal with global issues like climate change or the new national security issues.
I feel like Japan is losing its influence within Asia as China is gaining more economic power. Keeping up economically will be a challenge for Japan going forward.
The three Asian countries have endless potential. We need to cooperate with Japan and China.
The peaceful and friendly development between China, Japan, and South Korea will definitely make our life happier without any impacts of war and so on, so we can create a new era together.
People just want one thing at the end, like they want to be safe, like they want to be happy, they want to like move on with their own life, and they just don't want to like cause conflict with each other.
I think it's important to find a solution together.
We need cooperation, not confrontation, because there is a myriad of fresh problems that we face in the international community. To deal with those issues, I believe cooperation and coexistence is the most important concept.
All right, very diverse views over there. Jingjing, what do you think? How do you look at this divergence in their Asian identities for some of those people in the street?
I think Asian identity is something we all need to work together to build. Something I want to because in a recent speech by the famous Singaporean diplomat Kishore Ababani, and he said to the Western viewers, if you want to understand Asia only through Anglo-Saxon media, you would never truly understand China, India, ASEAN, because they have a very twisted view when portraying Asia. And I think as someone who lived in Western countries, I agree, because I feel Asian countries, the story of not just China's, of Asian countries are underreported and misreported in a way. So I think we Asians bear the responsibility to tell our country's stories, our Asian continent stories. And you know what? I think sometimes when we go to different continents, we try to differentiate from each other. Oh, well, I'm Chinese, I'm Japanese, I'm Korean. But actually, you know what? Whether something good or bad happens, we bear the consequences together.
I actually have a little different opinion, different approach on this. I think it's sad that we have to all embrace this one Asian identity. And honestly, I think it's not only Anglophone media, but specifically American-centric media that is really pushing this idea of Asian as a whole. Honestly, as a Chinese and also as a minority Chinese, I grew up just only identifying myself as Chinese. And I think, and from my perspective, Asian is only a very simple term that was only tied to a geographic perspectives. But it wasn't until I went to the US, I realized people were telling me that I am Asian, and every time I have to apply for something, I have to fill in my ethnicity and tell them that I'm Asian. And the idea of all Asians should unite together is the reason why I think it's sad is because you only form a very strong alliance when you are facing external threats, right? The Asians in the US wasn't as united back in the days compared to pre-COVID, but after COVID, a lot of Asian hate crimes and also things like that. If you look at Cali, you look at New York, a lot of Asians are coming together to protest and to express themselves. But that only happened under the fact that they were facing external threats. So I guess in a country like US, you can only gain rights and gain acknowledgement and attention by uniting all the Asian people together. But I think outside of the US, we don't necessarily have to push that identity or that idea of because we share similar culture, because we all use chopsticks, so we should all share the same identity. I don't think that makes sense to me.
Well, where you're interested, you see this
there's a rising of individualism, like individual identity or nationality, and then with this a larger community, like belonging to Asia, I'm Asian, or globalization even, a global citizenship. What do you make of that?
Yeah, yeah. I think these are great discussions. I found that I'm a strong believer in globalization and in regionalism. I think, you know, as we're going on, as time goes on, as the future, you know, is expanding, we will see more and more actually the larger context of recognition. For example, you know, when we talk with Mars, we're all man from Earth. we are all belong to Earth. We're Earth, you know, citizens, global citizens. But when we talk about, you know, the integration of the globalization, so the regionalism is happening. We have European Union, which is very also still very strong, even though they're having some crisis now. But we have ASEAN, which existed for 55 years, which I think shaped some commonality and the culture there. And of course, we have East Asia and Northeast Asia. So I think this culture bond, this geographic similarity, and also the tradition, the history, and all those things will make things more together, because also we now have CPTPP, for example, for the region. Now we are talking about FTA between China, Japan, and South Korea in discussion. So I think, you know, this regionalism, this Asian community is taking shape. The world is getting smaller. We have to recognize that is a fact. Mm-hmm. So we should be less interfered by this geopolitical tension. And, you know, let's talk about the unity. Let's talk about regionalism. Let's talk about globalization.